And holy is the sound. Holy is each one of us, and holy is the ground. Holy, 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 holy is the silence, and holy is the sound. Holy is each one of us, and holy is the ground. Kadosh, 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 kadosh. Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Chodesh Tov. Ooh, it's bright light over there. What's that? Chodesh Tov, everyone. My name is Ketzirah. Welcome to OneShul.org. I think I might adjust that light in just a second. It's really bright. Hold on. Nope. All right. I guess it's just going to be a very bright light tonight. So, Chodesh Tov, everyone. My name is Ketzirah. I'm very pleased to be back here with you again tonight. Oh, that's a little better. And I'll stop fussing with the light. Nope, that didn't help at all. I've posted a link for tonight's Siddur in the chat room. It's similar to what we've been using here at OneShul. There's a little bit of difference in there tonight and a whole new formatting. So let me know how you all like it. Second service for me in just a couple of days. Since I did Shabbat services Friday night as well, but back for Rosh Chodesh with you all tonight. So why don't we begin by introducing ourselves in the chat room and say who you are and where in the world you are. Because I can already tell from the names I see, we have an international community again tonight. So welcome to everyone. If this is your first time with us, or your 50th time with us. And I see we have one person who's guest 675. So do please share your name in some fashion. It doesn't have to be your whole name. And let us know who you are and where in the world you physically are. And as I said, my name is Ketzirah, and I'm coming to you from Washington, D.C. in the United States. And Ari, good to see you back. I haven't seen you in a little bit. And as well as everyone else. I saw David and Tamara and Rivka on Friday night. So good to see everybody back tonight. So Rosh Chodesh, we come together each month to reset ourselves again in Jewish time. It's what Shabbat is for too, to remind us to live in Jewish time, not just according to the days of the week or the secular months, but to give us opportunity after opportunity to live in Jewish time, which is an amazing thing. We think of Judaism so often as a religion of place in Israel. We talk about the Holy Land, but truthfully, the Holy Land is time, and it's what connects us no matter where we are in the world. And so being able to take these moments to stop and say, wait, I live in Jewish time, is an amazing gift that we get each week with Shabbat and each month with Rosh Chodesh. And what you may find, and some of you are regulars and you may be finding this now, is I watch the moon during the month, and I can tell where I am in the month now by watching the moon wax and wane. And I know when I see the full moon, okay, I've got 2 weeks till Rosh Chodesh is going to come. And so it's something that we all share no matter where we are physically in the world. We're all watching that moon wax and wane, and we can all tell time in Jewish time by watching the moon wax and wane. And that's a beautiful thing, especially as the moon is said to be a symbol of the Jewish people as we wax and we wane, depending on the time that we're in. So, pleasure to have you all here with us tonight. And we'll begin tonight as I generally do, and as we generally do when I'm leading services. So if you haven't been to Rosh Chodesh services here with us, this is a service that I wrote years ago with a Rosh Chodesh group I hosted at my home for a while, and it worked beautifully, and everyone at the time seemed to love doing the same service each month, and just seeing what the month brought to the service as opposed to doing a different service each month, as many communities do actually for Rosh Chodesh. So I took that service here to OneShul, and well, mostly it seems to have worked here at OneShul too, which is kind of amazing. It's nice when a piece of liturgy can stand the tests of time and also the tests of format, since this is a very different environment than doing it face-to-face in my home. So we begin with creating sacred space, calling ourselves into this space with the names we wish to be known as. We then move to expressions of gratitude from the month that has passed. And we move into asking prayers for strength for the month that is to come. We'll take a moment to talk about what the month we're moving into is all about. And yes, I do have the mitzvah cards with me tonight. That has become a newer part of our tradition here at OneShul. We'll pull a card for anyone who wants as your kavanah, your intention, your thought to move you into the month to come. And we have a new chant tonight to move us into the month of Tammuz. Last month, we did services for Rosh Chodesh as part of Shabbat, and I used a different chant because of that, and it got me thinking that I think something I want to play with for the next few months is, especially that last song we do together, what is the right chant to fit the opening up into the month? So see how you all like this chant tonight. It's specifically for Tammuz, and we'll see what comes up for Av in the following month. And if you have suggestions, please send them to me, because I'm always love to hear what you all think about it and what thoughts you have about what we should be using. So let's get started. We'll do our Baruch Hu chant. And as I sing the chant, I hope you sing along with me at home. It is responsive, so when I sing Baruch Hu, then you sing Baruch Hu, and then it doesn't do that, but you're at home, so it's okay. And as I sing, I hope you'll think about what name calls you into presence tonight. Is it your given name? I was going to say English, but not all of you speak English as a first language. So your given name, your Hebrew name, your spiritual name, a name that you're only going to use this one time ever. Whatever that name is, I hope you'll share it in the chat room so then I can sing you into this space using that name. So I hope you will sing along with me at home, and we'll begin with our Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Ariel Moshe, you have called on the light of your soul. Welcome home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When we call on the light of our souls, we come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Tamara and Ariane, you have called on the light of your souls. You've welcome home. Baruch Hu, dear ones, David v'Rachel, you have called on the light of your souls. Welcome home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Rivka, holy name, you have called on the light of your soul. Welcome home. Baruch Hu, dear ones, many names, many faces, we have called on the light of our souls. Welcome home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name, we have called on the light of our souls. We've come home. I want you to take a moment and imagine that we are all together in a physical space. We're all in a garden together. And when we begin, I'm standing in the middle of the garden, and each of you are lined up along a garden path waiting to enter. And as each of you, as I sing your name, you come through the gate of the garden. And then when you join me in the center, you turn and you help to sing the next person in. Till at the very end, we've all sung together that we have called on the light of our souls and we've come home. Amen. So now that we are here together in this temporal temple, in this cyber Gan Eden together, and we have sung ourselves into this space, and welcome Zeva, consider yourself sung into the space as well, and welcome. We move into our expressions of gratitude for the month that has passed. And if you are a regular, you've heard this before, but I think it's one of those things that you can't hear often enough. It's too easy every day to think about the things that are going wrong. It's harder and more work sometimes to think about all of the things that have to go right just for you to get through every single day. And so we begin our service, once we have sung ourselves in, with remembering what it is we're grateful for. And this is such a deep part of Jewish tradition. I think so often we think about the parts of our tradition that are about commemorating and remembering the tragedies. We have all of those fast days that happen to commemorate tragedies. But those are few and far between when you consider that every morning we have the opportunity to wake up and to say Shacharit prayers. And the first prayer, one of the first prayers, is Moda Ani, I am grateful. And so while it seems like our tradition is so based in remembering the tragedies, it's actually even more important to wake up every morning and just give thanks for waking up. And since not all of us get up and do Shacharit every morning, although I totally recommend it, it's an incredible way to start your day. It's really an amazing thing to do. Actually, my little side thing here, but the motivational speaker Tony Robbins, and I've never actually read any of his books, but there was a summary of one of his books I was reading, and apparently he advocates to start your day with what he calls the power hour. So it's frightening someone has to tell you this, but don't wake up and check email first thing, or Facebook, or Twitter, or anything on a computer. What he advocates for is basically the morning prayer service. You start the morning with a repeated affirmation, and then he also recommends doing a half an hour of exercise, also using a repeated affirmation. Well, our morning prayer service traditionally, and especially in the circles that I run in, is very physical. There's lots of movements that you can do, even if it's just shuckling, that back and forth prayer. But the Amidah in the morning has an opportunity to move as well. So I start my morning, most mornings, with a half an hour of yoga. That's the sometimes thing I'll give up if I'm in a rush. And then I do shacharit every morning, which takes me about 15 to 20 minutes. That one I never miss, at least not on purpose. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I do. And that's just how I start my day. And it's an incredible thing to do. So if you don't, at least when you're here once a month, you can absolutely say Moda Ani. That's true. Rivka, your first thought is usually aimed at your cat. My first thought is get downstairs, feed the bunnies, then do yoga, then do Moda Ani. So there's a couple of steps in between, but one of my first thoughts. But if you don't do shacharit in the morning, or you don't have a morning prayer practice of any kind, then at least when you're here each month, you get the chance to say Moda Ani and think about what it is you're grateful for. So we start with this, then we'll acknowledge we need some help. But let's sing our Moda Ani and share in the chat room with each other all of the amazing things that have gone right. And I bet every one of you can find something. Just the reminder, Moda Ani is for the ladies. That is a feminine conjugation of I am grateful. Moda Ani for the gents. And if you'll see, the first one is Lifanaich, which is feminine God language, and Lifanecha, which is masculine God language. I'm going to alternate. You may choose whichever you like, and then we'll do the English, which gets you completely out of having to deal with gendered God language, because we're not even going to say God, which is gendered word as well. So let's go through our Moda Ani and continue to share everything that we are actually grateful for. And I love that some people in the chat room are sharing what a Moda Ani practice and morning prayer practice means to them personally, and what they've how they go about it. I think that's a wonderful thing to share during this as well. And this version of Moda Ani is by Holy Tea. Moda Ani lefanayich, Moda Ani lefanayich, Ruach Chai v'kayemet, Moda Ani lefanecha, Moda Ani lefanecha, Ruach Chai v'kayam. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Moda Ani lefanayich, Moda Ani lefanayich, Ruach Chai v'kayemet, Moda אני לפניך, מודה אני לפניך, רוח חי וקיים. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one. One more time in the Hebrew of your choice. Moda ani lefanaich, moda ani lefanaich, ruach chai v'kayamat, ruach chai v'kayamat. We are grateful for so many things as a community. We are grateful for morning prayers that help get us out of the sludge of depression and just the sludge of waking up in the morning. I'm not very good at that myself. We are grateful. We are so grateful that Tamara is finally off crutches. I'm so happy for you. It is about time. Refuah Shalema. May you have a complete and total healing. I know that's not the only thing you're working on healing. Ari, I am grateful that you are so grateful for so many things. I can say that let's see, what do I have that I want to share this month that I'm grateful for? I am grateful that I sold the first piece of my embroidery work in I can't tell you how long. That was such a beautiful little gift to have show up in my email that someone had purchased a piece of my embroidery work. So that made me really happy. And on top of that, I am super grateful. I've been in a rut about my artwork lately, and I've been really struggling to get over some just mental blocks to pick up the work again. And I have, and I'm so happy. It's really more craft in this case than art, but I don't care because I've had a needle and thread in my hands and I'm making things for people who want them. So I'm super happy about that. I'm grateful again for, as always, for my husband and my family, and in my case, my critters, my 3 pet rabbits that are sitting right over there. And for Allison, who is also grateful for critters and her 2 new kitties. And David, we're all very happy you were not killed by the large SUV that hit, hopefully, your car and not you personally. Not a fun thing to go through no matter what, so I hope you're doing okay. That's very frightening. Car accidents are terrifying, so I hope you're doing okay. Oh my goodness, it hit you personally. All right, I really hope you're okay and you're healing and you're in one piece. Oh my goodness. Oh, and as always, I'm super grateful for the OneShul and punktorah communities, for Patrick Aleph, our fearless leader, for Rivka, who is our community manager, for Jeremiah, who is always writing such great work over on punktorah, and for all of you who participate and share in our community, for Brian B. Wheels, who I have missed his Torah studies so many weeks in a row. They're so fantastic. I hope you all hit Monday nights. It's amazing. Wrong Rivka. That's okay. I'm grateful for this Rivka too. That's Rivka Bet, who is the Rivka of the punktorah community manager. I'm also very grateful. There is a new Bat Kohenet. One of my Kohenet sisters had a healthy baby girl the other night, so we welcome her into the world as well. She and Mom are doing just fine. So many things that we are grateful for. Simply having internet so we can all come together as a community. But with that, sometimes we need a little help. There are things in our lives that are not so perfect. There are things that we need strength to help us get through. And these don't even have to be bad things. They're just challenges. I've started the whole point of all of the brachot sometimes that we say during the day, all of the blessings, are to keep us in a space of positivity and to remind us that just because we don't understand why doesn't mean there's not a purpose. So when I have very difficult moments during the day, I've taken to saying a brachot that I made up, which is, "Blessed are you, Holy One, who provides us challenges so we may learn and grow." I would like to stop growing some days and just have things be easy, but at least that, when I say it, helps shift my thinking. So now I open it to all of you to think about, what is it you're struggling with? What is it that is a challenge for you in the month to come? What is it you need strength or help with? And if you're frankly doing just fine, and that's amazing and fabulous if you are, take a look at the OneShul prayer request page, the prayer wall, and see who out there is struggling that maybe you want to dedicate this song, this chant to lend your energy so that they can gain a little from them. And in general, I want to say to everyone who leaves something on the OneShul prayer wall that yes, we are always praying for you when we get to this part of our service. So we hear you, we see you, and we hold you in our hearts and our prayers as well. So this chant is Micha Mocha. It's a little bit of a different one. The Hebrew is the traditional, but to a different tune than you might be used to. It's an adaptation by, again, Holy Tea. You can find this actually on her album Wild Earth Shebrew, which I very much recommend. There's my chants that I live on really are on that album. And it's based on a circle chant from a variety of different communities. So let's sing together and think about what it is that we need strength for, what it is people we know and care about might need some strength for, or what those people who have left their cries for help on our community prayer wall need strength for, and pray for them through this chant. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osei fele, Nora tehilot osei fele. The Spirit is flowing, flowing and growing. The Spirit is flowing through you and me. Adonai, guide me, be faithfully beside me. Adonai, guide me, and bless how I be. The Spirit is flowing, flowing and growing. The Spirit is flowing through you and me. Shekhinah reside in me, your wisdom lives inside of me. Shekhinah reside in me, O Holy of Holies. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osei fele, Nora tehilot osei fele. The Spirit is flowing, flowing and growing. The Spirit is flowing through you and me. Adonai, guide me, be faithfully beside me. Adonai, guide me, and bless me. The Spirit is flowing, flowing and growing. The Spirit is flowing through you and me. Shekhinah reside in me, your wisdom lives inside of me. Shekhinah reside in me, O Holy of Holies. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, O seifele, Nora tehilot, O seifele. Welcome to everyone who is just joining us. We are praying for strength in the month to come. If there is something that you need strength for, please share it in the chat room. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, O seifele, Nora tehilot, O seifele. And I do want to welcome those who just joined us. We are about halfway through our Rosh Chodesh service, but you are so welcome joining us anywhere through. We have already given thanks for all that we are grateful for in the month that has passed. You are welcome to share what you are grateful for. We have just finished with our prayers for strength in the month to come. And again, you are welcome to share what it is you need strength for. If you need to download the Siddur, you can download that right here. I just posted the link in the chat room. And if you are just figuring out, you've been with us, but just figuring out how to join the chat room, welcome anyway. So now we talk about the changing month. We talk about the month that is we are moving into now, and I'm going to put an image up actually. I don't know why I didn't have this ready for you. It's in your Siddur if you have it. So this image, I've been trying to think about what it is that I want to use to think about the month. And I went back to something I'd written quite a while ago. And each year for several years, I was exploring the months of the Jewish year through different lenses. And one of the lenses that I was looking at the Jewish months through was through tarot cards. And tarot cards are not a Jewish thing, but there's a lot of Jewish elements. I read tarot cards, so for me it was very interesting. And in particular, I was using several different decks, but one I was using that was really interesting for me was a deck called the Transparent Tarot, and that's what you're looking at now. And what made it so fascinating for me when thinking about the Jewish months was being able to overlay them the way you see and see the progression of the months and the images that would form. And in Sivan, which is the month of Shavuot, it is the month of the heart, which is that image you see on the left. And yes, I should probably do these from right to left, but work with me. In the center is Tammuz, the month we are in now. And then on the right is the month of Av. And don't worry about what these are supposed to mean. You can't see the air quotes I'm doing. But think about just what these images mean to you as you look. And to me, the message that I received for Tammuz was, it was a challenge in love. because the image is that one of the two horses in the middle pulling in different directions. And it's the chariot. And the chariot is a very powerful image in Jewish tradition, the Merkava. You have the divine chariot, but you also have Pharaoh's chariots. And it's a very powerful image for us. And the chariot is a symbol of movement. But you have to control those horses. Because if the horses aren't moving, you're just sitting there with potential, but nothing's happening. And if the horses are going in different directions, then you won't go anywhere and it'll tear your chariot apart. And so with the month of Tammuz, the message for me and the one that I ask to you all is, will you let love tear you apart or allow you to grow in strength by connecting with others? So it is a challenge of love and of proper boundaries around love and of of working within the relationships you have in the world for a positive thing to propel you forward. So that was my image for Tammuz that I'm going back to this month, and the progression of the months as we go to see where we've been, and then moving into the month of Av, which is all about understanding strength. That's the image on the right. So how will you use your potential this month to propel you forward? What relationships are important to you this month to help make that happen? And will you really have a love that is deep and resonant, or will you have false loves that are simply there to tear you down and tear you apart? Many of you know that popular culture is an important part of my world, and I was going to try to work this in as our chant, but I won't. But a song that came to me as I was thinking about this and looking at that image was the one by, oh my goodness, I've just forgotten their name, Mumford & Sons. You may know the band, and they have a song called Sigh No More, and part of the lyrics are, love will not betray you, or wait, I'm going to look it up so I can do this right. It's a beautiful sigh no more lyrics. Okay, hold on. I want to say these right because they're really powerful. And to me, it's really the essence of that image. Love, it will not betray you, dismay you, or enslave you. It will set you free. Be more like the man you were made to be. So I'm a fan of the song, but those words in particular to me are very resonant in thinking about relationships in this month of Tammuz, and the ones that are truly loving relationships are the ones that propel you forward. They don't enslave you. They don't make you feel less than. They don't make you feel trapped. True loves do not do that. So with that, let us see what messages around love and our loving relationships and relationships that propel us forward. What messages do we have, each of us, coming to us this month? So if you are interested in having a mitzvah card pulled for you, please raise your hands in the chat room and let me know, and then I'll start pulling them in order, and I'll let you know who's coming up next so you can tell me when to stop shuffling. All right. Leah, I think that was you raising your hands, so you're first. Tell me when to stop shuffling. Okay. This seems topical considering what we were just talking about. All right. Yours is Ta'ar Ba'alei Chaim. Prevent pain. Act to end needless pain and suffering of animals in slaughterhouses, medical research centers, puppy farms, cosmetic production, and more. Exodus 23:25. This definitely is calling into question your relationship with all the creatures of the world around us. So if you or considering adopting a pet, please aim for an adoption center this month instead of a breeder. But it may even be the food that you eat. It's one of the reasons that the kosher slaughtering rules exist. It's actually why the kosher slaughtering rules exist, is this exact mitzvah, to prevent unnecessary pain. So if you're not someone who thinks a lot right now about where the meat that you eat comes from and how those animals are treated both in life and in death, maybe that's something to think about this month. Or quite simply, maybe if you have a little extra cash, you make a donation this month to an animal charity, or volunteer at an animal shelter. Or if you have pets, just treat them a little extra nice this month. Or give respect to the humble pigeon. Whatever it is, it clearly is this month. The relationship for you to explore is one around animals in the world and preventing their pain. And I love the little kitty emoticon. That's beautiful. All right, Ari, you are up next. And I'm making a mess of the cards on you here. All right, now I'm shuffling properly. Stopped. These are all on topic. Does tend to happen. All right, Ari. Tzedakah. Give responsibly. Regularly donate from your personal resources to care for those in need and to provide worthy programs in healthcare, education, cultural arts, and tradition. Deuteronomy 15:7. So that one seems pretty clear. The relationships for you this month are around the groups, organizations, and individuals maybe that support you. Or it could be even simpler to have a little change in your pocket when you walk around, and that person that maybe you've walked by 100 times and said, wow, that person is just so sad. Thank you for that not being me. That maybe this month you don't just give them change, but maybe you offer to buy them a cup of coffee, or offer to buy them lunch, or donate to a food pantry, or of course your humble OneShul and punktorah. So think about what your relationship is to tzedakah and whether or not you are giving what you can give, and where is it that you truly should and could be giving more from your resources. And maybe you're truly feeling tapped out, and in which case, what resources do you need to bring some balance back? So, tzedakah. There we go. Oh, and I have to say, Leah, I hear you on looking after the rabbits. I have 3, and I'm very grateful to have several friends around here who have pet rabbits, and we all look after each other's when we're traveling. So, and if you're unaware, there's the House Rabbit Society and lots of other shelters. You can probably find someone. With any luck, considering I have 3 rabbits, you're just hoping someone will look after your rabbit while you're traveling. But if you have to surrender your rabbit, then definitely look into one of the local House Rabbit Societies, because they're great people who will take them. All right, let me see who's up next. Darian, you are up next. I am shuffling. Tell me when to stop. Stop. Really? You're gonna be that mean and do songs on me? You know I'm very, very subjective on suggestive, easily suggested on that front. It's terribly mean. Sorry, that's really funny. Darian, you asked for that. Ahavat Hashem, live in love. In the name of love. Do what you do out of an expansive love of the world and all creatures, a love that comes from being out in nature and deeply aware of the divine beauty and intricacy in all that is. There you go. Oh, that is sorry, and that is Deuteronomy 6:5. There we go. So there is yours this month. I think that's another one that's pretty straightforward. But it does seem like an extra piece of it is to get outside and to really enjoy the Holy One in nature and in the world around you, and to see all those subtle weavings of the world and the fabric that has been woven by the Holy One, and the fabric that is woven of the Holy One in your life. And yes, and for some, studying Torah is more important. For me, I find the Holy One in everything. It's part of the message of many of the sacred teachings is to study Torah, so then when you are not studying Torah, you can see the Holy One and the Torah in everything around you. So that is from the schools of Judaism that I study and that I practice. But again, for everyone, you should practice according to your own heart and your own understanding of what the Holy One is asking of us as the Jewish people. All right, so we had Ari and we had Darian. Crystal, you are next. All right, tell me when to stop. Stopping. This is, clearly we have a message coming through tonight. Because, Crystal, yours is Ahavat Zion, love Yisrael. Visit or live in Israel. Take action to secure a safe, just, and beautiful land of Israel. Only experience can convey the meaning of this mitzvah. Numbers 33:53 and Isaiah 66:10. Start maybe with those two pieces of scripture and see what they mean to you. And I think, especially in our world today, part of the question is, what is your relationship with the physical land of Israel? Is it a mythic homeland to you? Do you feel connected to it? How do you feel about the conflicts around the land of Israel? So I think this is, wherever you are with that, is a month to find some love within yourself and some love within your connection to what the ancestral homeland is. And I would say even with Yisrael, the tribe, the whole tribe. So explore what that experience is for you. So Ahavat Olam. And yes, so Yankel, if you were looking for the Torah study, that is tomorrow night. I believe 8 o'clock, Brian does that. So tonight is Rosh Chodesh service. All right, so we had Crystal. Let me see. Let me scroll back up to see who is next. All right, David, you and Rachel are next. So David, you are first. So tell me when to stop for you. And I'm laughing because you did that on purpose too. Oh, you guys are terrible. All right, yours, total mitzvah for you right now. Yours is Kavod Hamet Ve Nechum Avelim. Be a holy friend. Help an ascending soul and its family through watching over the body with your presence and prayers, and accompanying the body to the grave. Consider being a Chevra Kadisha volunteer. doing traditional preparation of the body. Visit the house of mourning for prayers and listening to give the essential message: you are loved and are not alone. 25, Genesis 25:11, Deuteronomy 34:6. So I'm certainly not ever going to tell someone to go and be part of a Chevra Kadisha. That is a hugely personal choice to make. It is a difficult thing to do, whether it's a traditional Chevra Kadisha and you go through all of the training, or simply a more spontaneous caring for someone who has passed. But clearly, this is a month to think about those in your world, though, that may need that message that they are not alone, that they are loved. Maybe in your prayers you think of those who have no one to pray for them, and you say Kaddish for them this month. That is a simpler one possibly to take this month, but if you have the strength and the inclination to explore joining a Chevra Kadisha, it really is amazing. And Leah is correct. It is an amazing thing to do, and it is a mitzvah beyond mitzvahs because there is no way to return it. There is nothing you are looking for from the other person except to do this holy act, and to hope that there will be someone there to do it for you when you pass, if that's what you wish. So Genesis 25:11, Deuteronomy 34:6. All right, let me see. Rachel is next, and then Tamara, you're next after that. So Rachel, you're up next. David, go ahead and tell me when to stop for Rachel. Oop, that's a quick shuffle. Okay. All right, Rachel, you are Vehalachta bi derachav, walk the talk. Engage each aspect of human nature, your own and others, in ways that make you a source of blessing. Deuteronomy 26:17. So, I'm going to say that this is about being in relationship with yourself. So where is it that you need to get honest with yourself, and where are the things within yourself that need some loving care and loving attention? So you can live in love and love yourself, so you can be a blessing to the world. So it sounds like for you this month, it's a little personal work and internal work, which is possibly harder than any of the external work, to be honest about where we're not taking loving care of ourselves enough, and possibly what things we've been doing don't feed us anymore that maybe we need to let go of, and to live a life that is fully engaged and lets us really shine the Holy One's light out into the world and be a blessing. Okay, Tamara, you're next. Drop one. Oh, was that okay, stop? I think that was okay, stop. Okay. Shema. Listen. Pause to listen and reflect at the doorposts of your day, your thoughts, your dreams, and one day, long may it be from now, your life. Appreciate the interconnectedness of all being. Know oneness. Deuteronomy 6:4. All right, I think for you this month, it is listening, and especially reveling in saying the Shema. So I think you're a daily prayer kind of woman, from everything I know of our conversations. But I think the Shema this month is your big one, is your big prayer and your big challenge. And especially not just those simple words, not just Shema Yisrael, But going into the Ve'ahavta, and you shall love the Holy One, saying that prayer, and that prayer of love, and reminding you of love infusing everything. So you mentioned your mom and that she needs healing. So remembering this month to listen and listen to the small voices and to really revel in the Shema this month. So definitely work on that one and think about the name of the Holy One that you're using and to listen for the real messages that come back to you. Okay, and let me say this name. If I say this wrong, I apologize. Yehochanan? Which syllable does the emphasis go on? I'm going to say Yehochanan. Hopefully that's close. All right, I'm shuffling for you, and I'm dropping a whole bunch of cards, so hold that thought. Try that again. Okay, Yehochanan, I'm shuffling for you, so tell me when to stop. Still shuffling, so if that was stop, say it again. Stopping. Okay. Oh, this one always makes me nervous. All right, don't read this literally unless you want to hear this one literally. Chuppah, cleave and commit. Ritually braid your soul with your beloved into a state of committed relationship under the symbol for your Jewish home, a chuppah. The Jewish wedding canopy in the presence of family, friends, and community. Genesis 2:24. Okay, you don't have to take that literally. But since we've been talking about love and relationship and all kinds of other things, this is your month to be thinking about what is it you need to commit to, and maybe not just privately, but what is a public commitment you need to make that maybe you need to do a little ceremony with family, with friends, with somebody else so they can hear what you're committing to. And maybe it's even privately, ritually weaving yourself into your spiritual practice and committing to your relationship with the Holy One. So think about that one to you. And oh my goodness, wait. Oh, Ari, you had the card. I suddenly thought, oh my goodness, you got married last month. What? Okay, Allison, you're next. All right, we are shuffling. And Miss Allison, go ahead and tell me when to stop. Whoa! Stopping. Ooh. You saw me shuffling. All right, once again, we have Kavod Hamet V'Nichun Avelim. Be a holy friend. Once again, all right, challenging one, but I think there's a lot here. Help an ascending soul and its family through watching over the body with your presence and prayers and accompanying the body to the grave. Consider being a Chevra Kadisha volunteer, doing traditional preparation of the body, and visit the house of mourning for prayers and listening to give the essential message, you are loved and not alone. And actually, this is making me want to look up a word very quickly. I think this is, all right, I'm forgetting the word, but what this is making me even think of was, it said the body, the body, the body over and over. And actually, if you're on a Chevra Kadisha and you go through that training, they'll teach you that you never, ever call the body the body. There is a special name that we have in Hebrew that now I'm forgetting because it's been a while since I've done any of that training, that you call a deceased person during that time between death and burial, because we believe that the soul stays with the body during that time. And that's why people stay with this person and pray over them and pray with them all the way through until they are buried, because the soul can linger. So I guess, Allison, for you, it is definitely a question to think about your relationship with things that are moving on, your relationship with death and with those who are in need of care in those liminal moments in their lives. And how can you help someone transition? And again, it doesn't have to be literally. Again, if this moves you to explore a Chevra Kadisha, that's a beautiful thing. But it could simply be people in your life who need to transition, people who are in liminal space. Again, homeless shelters, people in types of situations like that, even the mentally ill, who are in desperate need of hearing that simple message that they are not alone and that they are loved and that their lives are valued. And again, as I said earlier, another option is deciding to say Kaddish for this month for those who have no one to pray for them, and making sure that the Holy One knows that you, at least someone, is praying for them. You don't even have to know who they are. You simply have to say, for those with no one to pray for them. So that's a little bit of a heavy one, but I hope you find meaning in it. So Genesis 25:11 and Deuteronomy 34:6. So I think that was our last card. And with that, we will move into the close of our service tonight. I thank you all so much for being here. Oh, Rivka, did I skip you? We will not skip you. All right, Rivka, I am shuffling. Tell me when to stop. When? Okay. Woo! This would have been a shame to skip. And you too. All right, you have Pirsum Hanes, spread the light. Kindle the menorah's increasing flames for each of Hanukkah's 8 nights, contemplating and sharing the meaning of the miracle of light. It is from the Talmud, it is not from the Torah. Talmud Bavli 23b. A little harder to look up. All right, let's think about this one. So it's kindling lights. We're nowhere near Hanukkah. But the menorah is not just for Hanukkah. That's a Chanukiah. So maybe it is to try, instead of Sabbath candles, try lighting a 6-branched menorah. Or if you don't light Sabbath candles every week, try it this month and see what happens. By bringing that light in. Or maybe if you do light Sabbath candles every week, try adding an extra candle in with a special meaning each week to bring extra light into the world. Let's see what that one does. So here's yours. Go. So we move into our closing chant of the evening. Up until now, for quite some time, we've used a song called Opening in Sweet Surrender by a community called the Rainbow Community. And this month, and I'm going to try it again next month, and if you have suggestions for next month, please email them to me. But I started thinking about that message of Tammuz and what we were talking about earlier, and what chant would go with that. What song, what words has that tension of being pulled in different directions and trying to figure out how to channel something that will propel us forward in a positive way. And I thought of the song Ozi V'Zimrat Ya. It's a chant by Rabbi Shefa Gold. And not all of her chants move me. She's very talented and she does beautiful chant work. But this one in particular just works for me. The melody, the whole thing really works for me. And she has a really beautiful teaching that I put in the Siddur. And I put a link to where I found it, since it's not my words or my work. But here's the link that just posted in the chat room, the text. But here's what she says about this practice and singing this chant. In this practice, I find and express my strength, my will, my effort and desire when I chant Ozi. When I chant V'Zimrat Ya, I open and surrender to the God song and let it be sung through me. Then in the last phrase, Vayahi li lishua, I balance those two aspects of my practice. So I thought this brought in what we've been using, which is that idea of opening and surrender. But I loved the idea that the first word, ozi, is about your personal will and desire. The second part is about opening. And the third is about bringing those together. And I know that I talk a lot about aligning our hearts with the Holy One. And so this song to me is all about that. And I thought it would work really well this month. So we'll see how it works. So I'll sing with me if you can. The Hebrew is in, if you're a Hebrew reader, the Hebrew is in the Siddur that I posted. Here is the transliteration of it. And the translation is, my strength with the song of the Holy One will be my salvation. Ozi vezimrat ya vayahi li lishua. So we go to our own strength with Ozi, and then we open with Vezimrat ya, bringing it together, Vayahi li lishua. Ozi vezimrat ya, 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 Vayahi lishua. Ozi vezimrat ya, Vayahi li lishua. Ozi vezimrat ya, Vayahi li lishua. And I want to say that I know that Rabbi Shefa has extremely particular practices about her chants. So I hope I did that justice and brought in as much of the intent of that chant as I was able. If that moves you, I hope you'll explore the practice more. The Ozi, bringing it in with your will. The Zimrat Ya, opening it up. Vayahi, Aliv, Alishua. Balancing it in the middle. May this month of Tammuz bring you strong relationships that are loving and propel you forward. May you see love clearly. And may this month bring you many things to be grateful for. Strengths for all your challenges and struggles, and the ever-present place of your soul in the world and within the Holy One. Thank you so much for being here. Chodesh Tov. Remember that you are OneShul, you are punktorah. So if you find this service or any of our services or classes valuable, I hope you'll consider donating to help keep the lights on here. I'm a volunteer, as are most of the teachers, but the work that we do through OneShul and punktorah does take a little bit of money to keep it running. So I hope you'll volunteer your time, whatever money you can. And I'm going to say once again, you have no idea how important it is to see comments on the writing on punktorah. It means the world to people when you take the time to even say that that was wonderful, that was beautiful, I agree, I disagree. It's one of the reasons right now, honestly, that I'm doing more services than writing, is that I get the feedback and I can tell that what I'm doing is resonating with people, or you email me after and tell me what you think of the service. So if you read things on punktorah, even if you don't think that what you have to say is valuable, it is. Just saying the fact that you read it and whatever you got from what that person wrote is really valuable. Monday night is Brian B. Wheels teaching Torah, and he is a magnificent Torah teacher, so I hope you'll be here with him. I don't think I'm going to be yet again, which makes me sad because he's such a wonderful teacher. I listen after often and get the teaching that way. If you have thoughts about the month of Av and what songs or chants we should use at the end, or frankly anywhere through, please, I hope you'll email them to me or reach out through Facebook and let me know. You can find me everywhere at Peel a Palm, peeling a pomegranate. It's .com, it's Twitter, it's Facebook, it's Pinterest, it's SoundCloud. Ritual Well doesn't work that way, but you can find me on Ritual Well. And I hope all of you will share your thoughts about what songs or chants we should be using, whatever struggles you have with traditional or non-traditional, and Av for many is a challenging month because it is generally considered to be a month where there is a lot of tragedy. And so the question is, how do we deal with that tragedy, as Yankel is pointing out? So I have my own takes on it, and of course I'll share those with you. If you need a little inspiration, head over to peelapalm.com and look at the posts from previous years about the months of the year, or punktorah, where I've done a lot of posting about that as well. But I look forward to seeing you all here again next month. For Shabbat services, I will not be doing the first Friday of July because it is July 5th. And if you're in the USA, no way am I competing with 4th of July weekend. So I'll be here the following week, the second Friday, and then I'll be back for Rosh Chodesh Av as well. So thank you all for being here, and let's see what music to play you all out with this month. All right. Ooh, how about we finish up with Holy Holy again from our friend Holy Tea. And Ari, you're amazing. You're a rock star. I can't believe you do this in the middle of the night and the sunrise. So sending you off to Shacharit prayers and hopefully bed at some point. Have a wonderful month all, and I'll see you all soon. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.